Kyron's a quiet kid. You almost don't think he's there. And then you'll hear him say some really intelligent comment. And you just turn and look at him and what are you talking about? And he picks up everything. He's just a sponge.
The glasses that he wore and the expressions on his face.
He just has this great laugh that, you know, you hear it and it just fills your soul.
June marks the start of summer vacation in Portland, Oregon, a welcome break for students before they return to classrooms in the fall. Kyron Horman would be 22 years old now, getting ready to graduate college or starting his career. But instead, he's frozen in time, forever 7 years old. This is the story of the day he went missing. June 4th, 2010 fell on a Friday. Excitement buzzed through the halls of Skyline Elementary School in Northwest Portland. It was Science Fair Day. Hundreds of people were expected to walk through the doors, including 7-year-old Kyron Horman, who was anxiously waiting to show off his tree frog exhibit. Kyron's dad, Kane, says it was a normal day for their family.
Get up, work, him going to school in the morning, talked to him that morning before he had a project display at school that day with people coming to the school to come check out the kids' projects. So talked to him in the morning before I went into work.
Kane says his wife, Terry, was taking Kyron to school that day. It's what happened between the science fair and when Kyron would normally get home from school that remains one of Oregon's biggest mysteries.
Hi, nice to meet you.
About 4 hours away in Medford, Kyron's mom, Desiree, was at work when she got a phone call.
The caller ID on my phone showed Skyline Elementary, and my heart sank. I picked it up right away. She said, "You are listed as the emergency notification for Kyron Horman." And yes, he's my son. You know, and I'm kind of feeling weird, like, why is she talking to me this way? And she said, "I have to notify you he's missing."
By that night, a massive search was underway. The Multnomah County Sheriff's Office calls it their largest search and rescue effort in history. The focus, Skyline Elementary. Crews searched every part of the building. When that proved to be a dead end, they searched the nearby forest and even the Horman home. Investigators eventually asked anyone who was at the school that day to come back in for an interview.
As you all know, this has been a very, very difficult time for the family of Kyron.
A week after the disappearance, the sheriff's office held a news conference. It was one of the first times the public heard from Kyron's family. They appear to show a united front, but Desiree says she still reads into this moment.
15 years later, what do you think about that moment?
That hug especially, because, you know, even though we were co-parents, we weren't close. Hugging was never a thing.
Desiree also provided KATU News with never-before-seen emails between her and Terry from the days leading up to Kyron's disappearance. She calls the exchanges abnormal. In one email from Terry dated Wednesday, 2 days before Friday's science fair, she tells Desiree, "Finishing up his poster board tonight, and then I'll get a picture of that to put on Facebook as well, since we take it in tomorrow. He's pretty excited about it." It seems like an ordinary email, but it's one that points to a major question today. Why did Terry leave her bright red sports car at home on Friday and drive her husband's white truck to school?
Was that abnormal, or was that a weird conversation?
Not really. I mean, it was a bigger project, easier just to put it in the truck so it didn't get damaged in the car. The one thing I can't remember still is whether or not it was already at the school from the night before, because I think they had it at the school the day before as well, but that part I'm kind of fuzzy on.
That detail, whether Kyron's project was already at school or taken Friday morning, remains unclear. In one of the final emails sent at 1:24 on the day of the science fair, Terry asked Desiree to check Facebook as soon as she can, seemingly referring to pictures of Kyron at the fair. Terry also writes, "We went around to other classrooms. He could see how far he had come in ability. Pretty packed at the school, lots of parents."
They say 300 extra people at Skyline School that day, grandparents, siblings, parents, looking at the science exhibit, and there was no security. So it was really an opportunity for somebody to take a child.
Morris says that puts Kyron's doctor's appointment under a microscope. Desiree says Kyron didn't have one at all, but Kane says if one was scheduled, it would not have been on the day of the science fair.
Do you think whoever took Kyron that day planned for a day like this?
Well, I would think that it would probably be hard to be a spontaneous event, given the knowledge about the situation at the school on that day.
Prosecutor Norm Frink worked on the case.
It just struck me that it wouldn't be something just the spur of the moment.
Frink calls the investigation one of the most frustrating of his career.
As time went on and progressed, what made the case so challenging to finally charge somebody?
What made it challenging was the initial disappearance and the crime scene were extremely complicated and vast. That being a special day at the school, the number of people there that needed to be interviewed was just a tremendous challenge, and to determine everybody who'd actually been there.
Witness statements from Kyron's classmates, their parents, and even a bus driver say they saw Terry and Kyron leaving the school together.
What do you make of the witness statements who say, "I saw Terry and Kyron leave"?
Well, I think it's huge because it narrows that missing timeline, right?
We also took this question to Frink. He says the witness statements weren't as damning as you'd think.
My recollection is that we didn't have any credible witness that was sure about that. We had people who maybe thought, but if we had a single credible witness who was positive of that would have enhanced the case much more than the state of the evidence we were presented with did.
Without solid evidence, investigators narrowed in on Terry and the inconsistencies in her story, even contacting her closest friend.
The hope was that she would produce information as to what happened to him and produce information that would result in a prosecutable case against someone.
Coming up, the immunity deal that still raises eyebrows. Investigators would often turn up near Sauvie Island, about a 6-mile drive from Skyline Elementary. Residents who lived in nearby houseboats say they recall cadaver dogs searching the dock there. The Multnomah County Sheriff's Office has never explained why search crews have focused on that area, but did confirm the last search in the investigation happened just last year on April 24th. Officials wouldn't say where they searched, citing the ongoing criminal investigation. Investigators have never shared if any evidence has been found.
Well, I think it was really in cold case, status. I mean, we needed some event the finding of evidence, the making of statements by individuals that we thought might have knowledge. It needed something like that to move the case forward. There had been a couple times after the initial investigation where things had come up, but when I left, it would have taken something like that to move things forward.
You say cold case, and it's interesting because the Multnomah County Sheriff's Office has it listed as an active investigation.
Well, I think those are all terms. I haven't talked to them. I doubt if there's detectives working every day on the case, and so I'd term that, a cold case. They may say active in the sense that they're certainly open to pursuing things, and that they're not just, putting all the evidence away and putting all the reports away and not looking at them again.
Kyron's mom, Desiree, says progress is still being made, even if you don't hear about it every day.
We have seen progress from the FBI we haven't seen in prior years.
Does it give you hope knowing that the Multnomah County Sheriff's Department has this still titled as an active investigation?
Yes, and I would say concerning at the same time, because we are 15 years later. 15 years with an ongoing case is challenging. Kyron doesn't get to be here. He doesn't get to live his life. He doesn't get to experience Easter or all the holidays or the birthdays. He doesn't get that.
Coming up, Kyron may be missing, but his family hasn't given up hope. How his mom says she holds on all these years later. Years later, Desiree's home is full of Kyron. Everywhere you look, there's a memory of him. And that's just how she wants it. Even outside, Kyron has a backyard all to himself, full of frogs and a garden.
How do you stay so strong year after year and hold out hope?
It's kind of twofold. I have my rough days, I do. I broke down. It was the first time we came home, and I didn't want to go on. I didn't want to live without my Kyron. And my husband said to me, "You can't do that. You can't do that to me. You can't do that to your mom. You can't do that to Quinn. And what if Kyron gets to come home? You can't do that to Kyron." And it was that reality shock that I needed. No, you're absolutely right. I might just be a crazy person right now, and I'm feeling all sorry for myself. But you're right. And I made him a promise, and I've kept it ever since. I won't go there. And then I learned in my rough moments, I turn it.
It's these moments that bring her back here, to Skyline Elementary, where she started on a path no mother wants to walk, and one she's still on today.